Kahalo, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Yahushai, Rachakwadash. Let the elders that Rubel be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. To the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. This is 1 John, chapter 3, verse 13. Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. All right, let's get Marvel.
Strong's G 2296, Thalmadzo.
Thalmadzo, to wonder at, to be wondered at. All right, now let's get brethren.
Strong's G80, Adelphos.
Adelphos, a fellow believer, united to another by the bond of affection. Brethren in Yahushai. Having the same national ancestor, belonging to the same people or countrymen. God. And then we're going to get the word hate.
Strong's G 3404, Miseo.
Miseo, to hate, pursue with hatred, detest, to be hated, detested. Let's look up the slave definition of detest. Abhor, dislike intensely. So pulling it all back together in 1 John chapter 3 verse 13, marvel not, my brethren, if the world hate you. Now you got to ask yourself, why not? The scriptures will explain why. This is Luke chapter 21 verse 17, the words of Yahushua HaMashiach. He says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Notice how if you call upon any other names in the world, people automatically like you. But if you call upon the names of Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, in truth and sincerity, notice how it causes friction. Why? Because the names, the vibrations they carry are completely righteous. But every other name carries a negative and wicked vibration. And because we live in a wicked Job 9 and 24 world, a Micah 2 and 10 world, the truth is going to be hated on, and we know that Yahushai is the truth. So this is St. John, chapter 15. We're going to start at the 18th verse. If the world hate you, right, and we just read that word, ye know that it hated me before it hated you, right? Because Yahushua is the author and finisher of our faith and beyond. Verse 19, if ye were of the world would love his own. So we're going to go to St. John, chapter 15, verse 19. We're going to look up the word world.
Strong's G 2889, Cosmos. Cosmos.
Cosmos. The inhabitants of the earth, men, the ungodly multitude, the whole mass of men alienated from the Most High, and therefore hostile to the cause of Yahushua. So jumping back to St. John chapter 15, verse 19, if ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, all right, we're going to get the word persecuted.
Strong's G 1377. Dioko. Dioko.
Dioko, to pursue in a hostile manner, in any way, whatever, to harass, trouble, molest. And we know that in the slave definition, it means harass, abuse, to be mistreated, suffer persecution on account of something. In this case, that something would be, well, the ultimate something, which is serving Yahushua HaMashiach. All right, so going back to verse 20 in St. John chapter 15, verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. That's why the elect is such a small number, opposed to the wicked ones of our nation, the nation of Yasharallah. Continuing on, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. And we know that you're going to have a lot of individuals that are going to say, Yahushua, Yahushua. They're going to call upon him. Did we not cast out devils in thy name and do miracles in thy name? And Yahushua is going to say to them, depart from me, you workers of iniquity. I knew thee not. Because you can fool man, but you cannot fool Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Rachachodash. So moving on to Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And we read about persecution. And now we're going to go to the Edom Online and look up the word hate. Regard with extreme ill will, have a passionate aversion to, treat as an enemy. Goodness gracious. But as it says in Exodus 14 and 14, ye shall hold your peace, and the Lord Yahweh will fight for you. And that lines up with Ecclesiasticus 4 and 28, around there, where it says, strive unto the truth, unto death, and the Lord Yahweh shall fight for thee. And we know the truth is Yahweh Shai. So strive to be like Yahweh Shai, and you'll be taken care of. So we'll end things off with Job chapter 8, verse 22. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. So we know that the wicked is Esau Edom, which is the biblical name of the so-called white man. And we know that that spirit is on 2/3 of our nation, you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, so-called Haitians, so-called West Indians, and you Israelite foreigners, those that may look like the other nations but have the spirit of an Israelite, the spirit that goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And it's also applicable to the heathen nations as well, because as we read in St. John 15 and 18, the majority of the world, whether they're conscious of it or not, they do not like our Lord. They do not like Yahushai. That's why the elect is such a small number. That's why it says the work is plenteous, but the labors are few. The work represents the 1/3, and you have the 144,000 in that number. We're likened unto the sands of the sea or the stars in the sky. And we know that the elect is such a small number. The elect are going to be the ones that hear this word, love this word, and want to further this word. They want to be like Yahushua to the best of their ability. And if they're Akwath, which means sister, they'll serve according to their lot. Because as it is written in Proverbs chapter 20, verse 24, man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? If you're the elect, you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do, but it will serve the ministry no matter what capacity it's in. So going back to Job 8 and 22, I'm going to reread it. They that hate thee, we read hate, shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. That lines up with Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18, where it says the house of Esau will be as stubble. Because after Esau, Edom is rounded up, or, as it says in Psalm, bind their kings with chains of fetters. So after Esau, Edom is bound up and they serve hardcore slavery, because it says render unto them double, they're going to be burnt away. AKA, they shall come to naught. So with that, I hope you were edified. Shalom.